Hi, everybody. I'm Melinda Gallant, and I would like to welcome you to another Cape Conversations. That's right, the Fuzzy Slipper edition from my living room. So, we've got a great show today talking with somebody with the Sandwich Arts Alliance, and she's very knowledgeable and she's very talented. So, come along, let's have another Cape Conversations. Oh, everybody, I am so excited to have with us somebody from the Sandwich Arts Alliance. Totally somebody different than I normally talk to at the Arts Alliance. That's why it's so much fun. Welcome, Donna Rockwell. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm
So,
good. I'm hanging in.
yeah, like the rest of us, right?
Right.
So,
Making the
Donna,
best of it.
yeah, it's true. So, Donna, tell me, what do you do with the Arts Alliance, Sandwich Arts Alliance?
So I've been with the group since almost the very beginning. I think I hopped in at maybe the third or fourth meeting, but I do a lot of their graphic design. So I've
Ah,
helped kind of build the brand for the Arts Alliance over the years and just
nice.
watch them grow and make sure they have a presence. I also teach for them. So I teach drawing and mixed media, printmaking. So I do a variety of classes there too. And I'm actually their tenant. I'm actually in the a side office of the Arts Alliance. So I have my business, Duel Studio, on the side there, but it's a good relationship because I do so much work for them. So I'm there for them, and they can just pop in and
Nice.
bounce ideas off me, whatever. And just general support. I go to many of the events and help with some of the shows and a
Well,
little bit of everything.
so we're in a pandemic. Who would have thought it, right?
I know.
Crazy. So how's the Arts Alliance moving forward through all
So
this?
it took us off guard like everyone. So we were kind of midstream with some of our winter classes. We had just launched our coffee house series this winter where we had pretty good performers in, and it was getting pretty good reviews. So obviously, like everybody else, we put on the brakes and kind of reassessed how we can stay connected. So we stopped all our performances and classes like the rest of the world, you know, and started to think about ways that we could still connect.
Hmm.
So a couple of the things were already in the works. We have spent some time developing something we call Artspirations, which is a daily posting of what people are doing in their homes. So we're trying to get that person to person connection even when we can't. So that's
Sure.
something that has been on our website for the last month or so. And it's just
Nice.
little clips of people making art in their home or playing a song, or we have a couple of people who played music for nursing homes. So they've recorded things that they can share with the nursing home. So that's kind of one of our ways that we're just staying in touch. Um,
And what do you think about, like, I don't know, August, September? Are you going to try it? Obviously, we have to have we can leave our homes, you know,
yeah.
lifted. Do you think you'll still be doing some shows and things like that, hopefully?
I think we're all in wait and see mode, obviously, but
Yeah,
I think the plan is if we do not feel comfortable or the community doesn't feel comfortable gathering at that point, we're starting to move to more online venues. You know, we're talking about having Porch Fest is one of our annual events where musicians play around town. We're
right,
talking about doing a virtual Porch Fest.
right.
And so I think we wait and see if we're at a point where we can gather again, then we slowly introduce events back into the calendar. But if not, we will go virtual like
Yeah.
everyone. Yeah.
Well, and I think it's certainly for the visual side of the arts, for the Arts Alliance, it's much easier than the performing side of the arts.
Sure.
I'm involved with Katuitt Center for the Arts. I've been doing Zoom rehearsals for a play that may not go up, a musical
Yeah.
that may not go up, you know.
Yep.
There's a lot of decisions that have to be made, certainly,
Yeah.
about how large venues, as you said, for town hall, you were doing those coffee houses.
Right.
When do you bring those back? Well, people
Right.
want to come to a coffee house where they sit in a space where everybody's breathing. even
Yeah.
with a mask on. There's going to be questions. There's no doubt about it.
Yep. And it won't be the same for a while. So we will adapt, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's probably good because you're a smaller organization. You can do that, right? You can kind of,
Yeah.
you know, move
Right.
around.
And we're fortunate in that most of the Arts Alliance is done on a volunteer basis. So where
Hmm.
a lot of, Katuitt Center for the Arts, a lot of the bigger organizations are having to lay people off.
Right.
We're mostly volunteer to begin with. So we're hoping, when things start up again, we'll have the same group of people, the same dedicated volunteers, and it'll be a little easier for us to pick up um, when things do start up again.
Now, you said before we even started, but you said you have kids. How many kids you got?
Great.
3. Whoa, your
Great.
hands are full. I had 3, and
Yeah.
the denomination is girls to boys.
2 boys, 1 girl. They're 9, 11, 13.
Excellent. I had
Yeah.
I had the same thing. I had
Yeah.
the 2 boys and 1 girl
Yeah.
who was in the middle and always called herself a middle child, but she was the only girl. I'm
Yeah.
still not quite up with that, but
Mine's in the middle too. She feels
yeah,
bad for herself often for that.
yes, there you go. Well, be prepared. Mine's now 42, and she still says, "Well, I was the middle child." So there you go. Um, anyway, so you're a practicing artist, correct?
I am. Yep, I do. So for, I don't know, the last 20 or so years, I've been pretty steadily doing graphic design, but moved to the Cape about 8 years ago and have really enjoyed getting back to the fine arts. So it's been a nice,
Nice.
the Arts Alliance has been a great organization for me because I'm trying to go more in the fine art direction, less in the computer graphics.
Yeah.
Um, Although it's been my bread and butter, I don't I don't disparage it in any way. But the Cape is such a great place for fine arts and just such supportive arts scene and organizations. So
So
um,
where do you, I mean, obviously when you're showing, do you have a website and,
I do. Yep. Do Studio is my website, so I have design and fine art and illustration. I actually went to school for illustration, so I
oh,
have all of
wow.
that up there. Yep.
Where'd you go to
So
school?
yeah, that's all on my website. Rhode Island School of Design.
Oh, wow. RISD.
Yeah,
Fancy.
I'm a RISD girl.
Yeah. Very fancy.
Yeah.
And so before Sandwich, where did you live?
I was in Waltham. I grew up just north of Boston, and then after I got married, moved to Waltham and landed here.
Excellent. That's
Thankfully, yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So the Arts Alliance, what else? I know they're going online. They have a website, correct? The
They
Arts Alliance?
do. It's sandwichartsalliance.org,
Mhm.
and all our information's there. So we support writers, musicians, and performing arts, um, and visual arts. I said that
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Um,
You do
so
yeah, a lot of visual arts, I know.
Yeah, so obviously our doors have been closed to the gallery, but we've put a virtual gallery of a lot of the pieces that are in the gallery right now on our website, so you can see some of our artwork there.
Mhm.
And like I told you, the Arts Creations kind of connects us with all different writers, musicians, whoever submits. And we have a couple other projects going on our website that are virtual. So one of the writers in our writers group came up with the idea to do a poemathon.
Oh,
So
neat.
how that works is you can have one of the Arts Alliance writers write a custom poem for you in exchange for a donation to the Sandwich Food Pantry.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, it was a great idea. One, to help the community, and two, to keep our writers engaged. And people are ordering up poems for gifts for people, birthday gift or anniversary or whatever. So that's on the website as well. That's right on the homepage, and also just a great way to try and raise some money for the food pantry when they really need it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, which is quite amazing to me. I was talking to someone who said that right now it's very surprising how many people have food issues in
Yeah,
Sandwich, because we always think of Sandwich as that upper middle class,
we
to
do.
upper class, quite frankly, area. And
Yep.
we're not. We're a very blended community in a lot of ways. Perhaps um, not racially, but we certainly are blended as far as socioeconomic, I think.
We are.
And
My daughter is a Girl Scout, and my boys are Boy Scouts, but they volunteer every few months or so, stuffing backpacks for kids in the schools that are that need more food, that are a little food deprived,
Right, because they get their food from the school.
they
And now,
do, and it's not enough for the weekends. And
right,
we were surprised, and the girls were surprised that
right,
I think it's about 25% that
right.
are in need. And I know the high school's running the program for school lunches during the day for anyone that needs them, and they're they're sending out a lot of food, so
They
there's
are.
definitely the need. Yeah, and even more now. So
Well, I was talking to somebody in social services and housing, and they were telling me that it's surprising how many grandparents are raising grandchildren in
yeah,
Sandwich.
yeah,
So, and once you've raised your kids, I mean, I have grandkids now. Unfortunately, I wish I could hug them and see them now, but I wouldn't want to be raising them now.
yeah,
So, I take my hat off for anybody who is. But I
yeah,
was quite surprised to hear the number that is actually kids that are being raised by grandparents in town.
yeah. I believe it. You see it. It's pretty evident. My mother likes to take them one at a time.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I
how
have
she likes
six. I'm that
it.
way too. So,
Yes.
um, so does the Arts Alliance do anything in particular for people who perhaps are not well off and maybe want to participate or want to take lessons? Do they have any kind of program for those folks?
They have actually. They started recently with our coffee house, bringing complimentary tickets to. I think they went to the senior center. They went to some housing places,
Hmm.
and also some busing was arranged. I think for the seniors, which is nice because they were trying to reach people that otherwise either couldn't afford it or couldn't get there. So they were able to give out a number of tickets to our last coffee house before we closed, which is wonderful. Um, and that was a great way to reach out to people who
Sure.
otherwise maybe wouldn't experience it. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, and with any organization, it's about growing your audience, right? I mean,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah.
Do you do things with people with disabilities as well?
We have done some. Actually, it's funny you asked that because I actually work for Cape Cod Can, which is an organization that does
I know it well.
art classes, yeah, for adults with disabilities. So we're new to our building on 6A, and we're not an accessible building right now, so that's a little tricky. But we have reached out. We did a show where we had someone in a wheelchair, so we made arrangements to make sure it was inclusive. But it's a little tricky for us in that space. But we are starting to get more involved with some of the school programs, and with my connections with Cape Cod Can, we're keeping that in mind that we can use our space to host classes. There's also some programs at the high school. We've done an art show with the high school, which was inclusive, so
Okay.
anybody could participate there.
So
But
you must
we're
go ahead.
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go
Nope.
ahead.
We're a little bit new to our space, so we've been in there less than a year, and we didn't even make it the full year before the doors got shut. So we're kind of learning how we can use our facility for different groups and to reach different demographics.
So you must know Katie Paul then.
Yes, very well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So are you a teacher for Cape Cod Can? Do you teach when
I
they do their
do. Yep,
programs?
yep.
A
I teach.
long time ago, I used to do that for
Oh, you
Jim
did.
Hurley. I
Oh,
was the
yeah,
first
sure.
person who did that, and then
Oh,
just as
isn't
a
that funny?
consultant. And
Yeah,
a great guy. I'm sorry he moved, but he did.
yeah.
But they brought in a wonderful person, certainly in Katie Paul.
Yes, and Melissa Kenny
Oh,
is
and of
there
course
too.
Melissa. Yeah.
And between the two of them, they do a great job. So Jim was actually the person that brought me on, and then a week later said, "I'm leaving." So it's like, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
But he was great, and he got that organization off to a great start, and
Yeah.
we're hoping to keep it growing and
Yeah. Yeah.
include more and more people. So
Oh, and I hope so too. And I think the relationship with Katuitt Center for the Arts is really a nice thing, and along with the Sandwich Arts Alliance in the future, I'm sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're definitely trying to collaborate with them or offer them some class space or
Yeah.
do whatever we can. Yeah,
That's terrific.
yeah.
So, okay, here we are, kind of how many weeks into this? 6 weeks into being
6. I'm
locked down?
counting.
6 and counting. And I don't think it's going to be opened up by May.
Yeah.
I don't. I think it's going to be the end of May if we're lucky.
Yep.
If everybody stays in and does what they're supposed to do.
Right.
So what do you see? I mean, you've been involved with the Arts Alliance for how long now? How many years?
Most of the 5 years they've been around. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
So where do you see it going? I mean, you're not the president. Who's the president? I forget. Is it
Todd
Joe?
Herman's the interim president,
Oh, okay. Oh no, it was
and then,
Kathy Odie was, right? No.
yeah, I think so. And Joanne Westerhouse for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Todd right now, I think through the end of June, and then he may stay on. I'm not sure
Oh, I'm sure.
what's
Yeah.
happening then. Um, but yeah, so we're kind of trying to refresh our board and our directors too, just to keep the ideas fresh and
Oh,
new.
sure.
Um,
Sure.
but I think we'll do whatever we can, and we've done a few, which is probably going to help us out this summer. We've done quite a few outdoor events, so I think it's probably going to be easier to maybe not gather, but it will be easier to be outside. We've done plein air painting and just a few outdoor concerts, those kind of things. So maybe it becomes more of an outdoor thing for a little while for the summer when the weather's good. And I don't know, we'll see.
Well, my husband Joe has been a part of the plein air.
Hmm.
Um, and last year, I think he had it under a giant tent down at
Right at the
Sagamore.
Sagamore Inn.
Yeah, at Sagamore Inn. And
Right.
that would be perfect. You could definitely do social distancing in that tent. It was the biggest tent
Right.
I think I've ever seen. It was
Yeah, it
huge.
was a big tent. Yeah, so
So,
I think events might look a little more like that in the near future,
yeah,
before we can really gather in large groups inside. So the timing of that, I think, might be helpful. We've also done we've talked about having some tents set up outside of the Arts Alliance building, like kind of like they do at the shanties in Hyannis, maybe having artists selling their wares outside. Um, we can also offer classes for kids under tents in the summer. We can do
sure,
activities.
sure.
Um, so the summer's going to be interesting. We'll see where it goes. And
Well, I think the town probably would work with you too about putting up tents or, doing anything along those lines. I'm sure they would be happy to help you out
yeah,
as far as, permitting and all of those things.
I would think so. I think everybody's kind of working together to offer something for people and to keep businesses going and nonprofits going.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're in a new reality
Hmm. Yep, indeed. We
and
don't know what it's going to look like.
we don't.
Yeah.
We really, really don't know what it's going to
Yeah.
look like. I know I'm actually doing a play that's going to be, we're doing 3 rehearsals. It's a reading, but it's 3 rehearsals and it's supposedly a staged reading on Zoom, and then
Yeah.
they're doing it Facebook Live.
Yeah.
So whoever you'll need to talk to June, because I know she heads up all that
Sure.
performance stuff. She'll have to take a look at it
Yeah.
because she may want to she may want to see it and see how it goes, because that might be something that the Arts Alliance could do as well.
Yeah, I think there have been talks about doing that, doing some kind of stage rating. Also, the musicians could do. You've seen so many of the group songs that they've sung,
Right.
so there's ways. It's really the performing arts, I think, are the ones that we have to think about the most, because the painters can paint and the writers can write in their homes,
Right.
but the musicians are missing their audience and they're
Yeah.
missing their
Yeah.
venues.
Right.
And that's another thing we're trying to do on the website as well, is put up any information that can help working artists get support, get financial support, all the
Sure.
grants that are available, because especially the musicians too, when their gigs are canceled, that's their livelihood. So
Well, I think they just opened it up for unemployment for gig employees, which covers artists,
right, right,
which is terrific.
right. We're not used to that.
No, I was going to say, you guys
Yeah,
never get that kind of stuff. Trust
yeah,
me.
right.
I know from my husband's experience. And of course, now, although I don't manage shopping centers anymore, I am a JP and I've lost all my weddings. I mean, they've been
Yeah,
postponed. I didn't lose them, but
right.
you can't get, they're not in Massachusetts allowing people to get married by Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Not yet. I think it'll come,
Huh,
but not yet. So,
interesting.
and many, they wanted to have the fancy wedding with the fancy dress, and they're just putting them off for 6 months or a year.
Yeah,
So it's kind of different
it is. Yeah.
for
So
sure.
we will adapt. I did see a social distancing wedding downtown a week
Yes,
or two
yeah,
ago.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think, yeah.
Yeah, and I've got to speak to Taylor about that. He could have called a JP who needs the money. He doesn't need the money. He has a job. So give him a hard
Yeah,
time.
it's hard. The one other thing we're trying to do for our writers too is, and this was in the works before all this happened, but we've opened up an online store on the Arts Alliance as well. So we're selling books, and we're soon to be selling artwork as well
Oh,
online.
excellent. Excellent.
Um, so we're trying to generate a little income maybe for some of the artists that are hit really hard during this time. So
Do you promote that? Do you promote your website in various places?
we do. So we do have we work with someone in marketing who puts it out to the newspapers and does press releases, and of course social media. She takes
Yeah,
care of the Facebook, and we try and get it out there through the usual venues and
yeah.
word of mouth. So,
Excellent.
but yeah, we do.
So if somebody was looking to buy a book or learn more about the Sandwich Arts Alliance, where do they go again? What's the
It's
web address?
sandwichartsalliance.org.
Excellent.
Yep, and all our contact info is up there for all of these, the poemathon, the book sale, our inspirations is up there, and we, we are reachable by email and phone, and if anybody has a question or is interested in purchasing a piece, or we can make arrangements in
Excellent. Good.
some way, shape, or form. Yeah.
Excellent. Good.
Yeah,
Well, I want to thank you so much for your time today.
sure.
And hey, hang in. You got 3 kids. God bless you at home.
You're just processing the school closing information. It hasn't really hit yet.
So will you be, obviously you're homeschooling, or you will be soon, correct?
Yeah, we've been doing it all along. They've been fairly independent, though. They're doing a good job, but they do need guidance once in a
Yeah,
while. But
yeah.
yeah, it's going okay. Yeah.
Well,
So
that's good. That's good. Are they in sandwich schools, or are they in the charter school, or?
they're in sandwich schools. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. I believe in public schools, so I'm glad to hear that.
Me too. I didn't go to public school growing up. I think it's great.
Yeah. Well, I did. I'm from Ohio, so everybody went to the public school
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Ohio. So, um, well, very nice to meet you. Finally, I've heard
Oh,
your
you
name
too.
bandied about town, so it's
Likewise.
nice. It's really nice to meet you, and I want to thank you for your time today. And we'll
Yeah.
see you again, I hope,
We will
around
see you
sandwich.
sometime. If not in person, then online.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you,
All
Donna.
right. Thank you, Melinda. Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you. Donna Rockwell with the Sandwich Arts Alliance. She's an illustrator, she's an artist, she teaches, and she helps out the Sandwich Arts Alliance. What more can you ask for? What a terrific person. And she's doing the branding for the Sandwich Arts Alliance. How cool is that? So I want to thank you for joining me today on another Fuzzy Slipper edition of Cape Conversations. We're all going to get through this one way or another, I know for sure. So buck up, kids. This too shall pass. Thanks.